This is Real Talk with Rosanna Lucia and Brianna Black. Welcome to Real Talk. My name is Rosie, and today I have Georgia Southern student and friend Ansley Hamilton. Although she is not a gourmet or trained chef, she is a college student with a kitchen and also an eater of food. So I have asked her today to talk with me about our eating habits. First, let's go over a brief history of food and how it's impacted our world today. According to Wikipedia, food is any substance consumed to provide nutritional support for an organism, not orgasm. Food is officially, I can't read apparently. Food is usually of plant, animal, or fungal origin and contains essential nutrients such as carbs, fats, proteins, vitamins, or minerals. The substance is ingested by an organism and assimilated by the organism's cells to provide energy, maintain life, or stimulate growth. When talking about its impact on society, aside from the importance in relation to family values or personal identity, a food trend would represent something like the growing penetration of a fruit or a grain in the food retailing and restaurant food service sectors. Quinoa, a pseudo-grain seed, is a great example of a food trend that has emerged as an opportunity for a variety of food manufacturers and restaurateurs. There's a lot of different foods ranging from prison food to traditional food and of course the beautiful thing of international food. And as much as I love cooking, I love eating more. Ansley happens to have a similar diet to me, her being a vegetarian and me being a pescatarian, so today we will be discussing our favorite foods and recipes, as well as the impact things like quinoa or quote-unquote millennial toast, aka avocado toast, have impacted society.
Well, thank you for the introduction. I am a vegetarian, so I do technically eat, although I typically prefer to photosynthesize, as most of us do. Protect the animals and what have you.
What would you say your favorite vegetable is?
Oh gosh, my favorite vegetable, you know what? I love roasted, I know this is not only a vegetable, it's a root, but like I love roasted sweet potato. Sweet potato in all forms is delicious, but roasted, like cubed sweet potato, honestly, like a big veggie roast with anything, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. I love veggie tempura.
I think I prefer my potatoes or sweet potatoes like in the form of like mashed potatoes, like they do at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I've had like sweet potato casserole before and all that kind of stuff, but honestly, I take some like cubed sweet potato and I marinate it in like a teriyaki marinade. Ooh. And then I do Japanese or Asian style roasted sweet potatoes with a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette, olive oil, sesame seeds, nori, salt, typically like a wild mushroom or an infused salt of some kind. And then I put those in the oven and I roast them and they're delicious. And I top them with roasted sesame seeds. It's really good.
Have you seen the mushroom? They have like a mushroom booth here on campus.
I recently bought some mushrooms from said booth.
I never knew what to get from them.
He typically has two varieties. Last time I was there, he had a chestnut mushroom and then an oyster mushroom.
Ooh,
oyster mushrooms were ones that he recommended for beginners. That's one I got. He was very, very nice. He gave me 5 ounces of mushrooms.
Wow.
For just $5.
That's crazy.
And then he actually gave me a discount because I only had 4 ones, so he just gave it to me for $4. That is a lot of mushrooms. That's
what a fun guy.
Hey. Yeah, for the quality of mushrooms, that's actually like beating grocery store price. So if you see mushroom guy on campus and you like mushrooms or want to get into better mushrooms, because the ones they have at the grocery store are nasty and are not a good example of what the wide variety of mushrooms, the wide world of mushrooms can do for you, definitely
mushroom guy.
Yeah, definitely pick up some mushrooms from Mushroom Guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
So I feel like a question that us as like vegetarian pescatarians get a lot is, where do you get your protein?
Man, it's not that hard. I get it from eggs, beans, soy, any type of soy, tofu. I get it from a variety. I eat protein powder, Gains.
Just plain protein powder?
No, I put it in smoothies, or like I incorporate it into like honestly, I'll just drink like a protein shake. Like it's not that hard to find protein these days as like a modern vegetarian, and we're just getting better and better at it.
Oh yeah, we have a lot more options nowadays.
Yeah, when I was a kid, there was maybe like a few less options, plus I was kind of a picky eater, so tofu wasn't really an option for me, nor was like soy. But now that I like tofu, and I know how to cook it well, that's where I get a lot of my protein, is just like any of those typical like earth-grown protein sustenances.
I recently discovered a hack in like pressing my tofu, which I think is fun to share, because my mom could not get with the vibe of, you know, the vegetarianism like when I was 17, and recently, over the last 4 years, like, she's sort of, like, assimilated to the diet. And she's been cooking a lot of tofu, and recently she found an article that, like, expressed how to get the water out, because that's, like, one of my biggest problems, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
I got a tofu presser for Christmas recently.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I need one of those. But she sliced it in half, like, sideways and then long ways, and then you take it apart so it's in 4 pieces. They're really thin, and then you press them with something heavy, and that gets, like, a lot of the water out.
Spread out the surface area of the tofu, you got less dimension of tofu to squeeze water out.
Yep.
But as a pescatarian, this is something that you get in your diet that vegetarians and vegans necessarily don't, and that's omega-3s.
Omega-3s, yeah.
That's a vital brain mineral right there.
Yeah.
So if you are a vegetarian or a vegan, you need to start taking fish oil supplements. I don't know, like, and yes,
those
like,
are really good for you. It's
they're
good
really
for your
good for
hair,
you.
your nails, your
Every
skin.
single day I take 2 fish oil capsules, and like it just like gives me the brain mineral that I don't get from eating like food. It's the one thing that's truly missing from my diet in that case, and it's really, really healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's essential to like proper liver functioning, stuff like that.
I'm a big fan of salmon, and that has a lot of omega-3s, raw or cooked. Just give me my salmon.
Girl, yes,
I love salmon. Oysters. I love crab legs. I think that's a main reason, like, besides growing up on a coastal town in Savannah, Port City, why I'm a pescatarian and not, like, vegan or vegetarian, aside from cheese. Love cheese. But what do you think your favorite food is?
Oh, man. My favorite food, and this is, see, I am someone, and this isn't necessarily true for all of vegetarians, but it just happens to be true for me, and it's that my vegetarian lifestyle made me very health-oriented, and so I follow, like, kind of, like, not a strict diet, I would say, but, like, I'm very aware of, like, food health, and
you become more sensitive, too. Like,
very,
fried foods aren't
absolutely.
my vibe either. Like, they just hurt.
Yeah, so, like, a lot of people might say that their favorite food is something that they enjoy indulging in, but for me, like, how the food makes me feel after I eat it is a big factor in what is my favorite food. And so my favorite food is butternut squash lasagna.
Ooh, I haven't had that.
I have this killer recipe. It's great. It's butternut squash and like amaretto cookies, which are like almond cookies, and you blend them together. It's like a whole like thing. And then there's like a cheese and spinach mixture. You can make it. I like to make it a bit more spinach heavy and like incorporate other veggies into it to make it a bit healthier. But that butternut squash is really, really sweet, along with like the almond flavorings. And you crack some pepper, like a lot of black pepper, a lot of white pepper. You make it nice and spicy. Add a little bit of cumin to get like almost a curry flavor. Layers beautifully with the noodles. It's a great alternative if you kind of are sick of like traditional marinara lasagna, and that is my favorite food. It is everything that I have ever loved in a dish, and that's bread, cheese, and then vegetables.
That's amazing. Which is surprising because I'm Hispanic. I'm not big on spice. So when I come over and you make that, will you dial back on the spicy?
Yes, I will. My mom makes it, and she has the original recipe that I have adapted into the more flavor-heavy version of it.
Good. We should do like a vegetarian potluck.
Oh my gosh, that would be a dream come true.
We should do that.
I
maybe
recently
like
threw
a fundraiser for
absolutely.
films or something.
I recently threw a small dinner party I helped my roommate throw a small dinner party, but I was helping out with the cooking, and we made that, that viral TikTok talking about food trends, that viral
pasta?
TikTok feta pasta.
Yep.
Yeah, so her dish was this like big feta, like the TikTok feta pasta, and then I did a gigantic veggie roast.
Ooh.
And so I just did like a gigantic veggie roast so there would be some more like healthy options, and then I made like a fun, like I made fun drinks for everybody, and it was like this. It was a cute day. But a vegetarian potluck sounds like a dream come true because like I'm not used to having options.
Oh yeah. That would be so fun, and we could all like exchange recipes and stuff.
Oh my gosh, dream come true.
I think my favorite food would have to be, and this is funny because it makes me feel bad afterwards, but I'm not like a celiac or anything, I just have issues. But I love pasta with a passion, all the pastas. But aside from that, I will say I made this beautiful mushroom risotto the other day, and that has become like my new favorite thing, even though I've only made it twice. But it's so easy. There's only like 4 ingredients. It's shiitake mushrooms, the risotto rice, vegetable stock, and then you kind of go to town and do your thing. It's like, it's really easy, and that's the best thing, when like something delicious is that easy.
And there are a lot of really, really amazing simple dishes out there that are just like gangbusters. They're so good. And you can put your own home style twist on them. You can perfect them to make them exactly how you want them. And that's why cooking for yourself is so fun. All your little particular things that you care about, everything that you've ever wanted to change about the way a dish tastes, you're allowed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm making something with a recipe and I'm like, that doesn't sound like it would taste good, and I know that I would like it if I didn't use that much sugar. Guess what I'm not putting in my recipe? That much sugar.
Exactly. But I will say, just like I said earlier, I love cooking, but I love eating more, and restaurants are my thing. Like I'm a quote-unquote foodie. Like,
same.
Love going to restaurants, and nowadays there's so many more options for us.
I've dug through Atlanta's registry of vegan restaurants, and
have you been to Kale Me Crazy?
Yeah, I've been to Kale Me Crazy.
So
that's the one I started with.
Oh, me too. It's been a while, but I love that place.
Yeah, but smoothie, I have like a whole rant about smoothie restaurants and how I think that there should be a build your own smoothie restaurant, so you can like pick a base and then 3 fruits and
you can
why doesn't
do
that exist?
A lot of like, there's like Smoothie King. What's the other one?
I have yet to see a single place that does that. Even Smoothie King has like a preset menu. It's ridiculous. Whatever. I want more smoothie variety, please and thank you.
Yeah, someone make us a build your own smoothie place.
Yeah, please do.
Someone's gonna see this and make a lot of money off that idea.
Honestly, but it's okay. I don't want to make money off of it. I just want the idea to get out there so that
speak for
someone
yourself.
else can make
I
it.
want to make money off of it.
Well, I'm not gonna start a smoothie restaurant. I got bigger things I want to do with my life.
I can do that and other things. No, I can't. I don't know.
That's a lot of multitasking.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But what's like another thing that you think is going to come into play into like today's society? Like we had avocado toast, we had the whole like obsession with quinoa and walnuts. Oat milk is a thing right now. What do you think is the next big thing?
Man, okay, I do actually have like a legitimate prediction for this, but I think it's almost a little bit like too in the future, so that it's not going to come true for a while.
Ooh, I'm curious.
And I think that the world, and this is what we should be doing anyway, but I am really excited for a no-waste food trend to come into play.
So ethically sourced.
Yeah, but I'm not just talking about like that, I'm talking about like when it comes to greenery and the parts of foods that like you're used to only buying in the piece that you know, and so you get it whole now. Like a lot of people don't know beets. Like a lot of people, everyone knows canned beets and whatever. But did you know that beet greens, aka the stalky stuff that grows out of the ground, is actually extremely healthy and full of iron and is like really, really good for you and cooks down to a quite delicious like leafy alternative to, say, I don't know, iceberg lettuce that has all of the caloric and nutrient equivalent of a piece of ice.
That's a good point. That's also a thing with like kale and the stalk of the kale. How people just cut that out.
No,
have you tried kale chips?
I have.
But like
I've made
yourself.
kale chips.
Yeah, I hate the store-bought ones, but like making them at home is like insane. You have to try this. You cut pieces of kale, put it on a tray, drizzle some oil, olive oil on that bitch, and then sprinkle some salt, and then put it in the oven at like 375, I think it was, for like
something like that. I typically zhuzh mine up with some extra like crap to make it a little spicy, but
nutritional yeast as well.
No, I don't do that, but I do put a little jalapeno oil on them, and then I toss it.
If you like spice, that's a good.
It's great.
That's a good addition. But yeah, and you look it up, but I think it's like 10 minutes in the oven.
I will say right now,
you gotta watch it.
Do not expect any like vegan alternative to your favorite comfort food to be as good as. It's not supposed to replace that comfort food. You're just supposed to like it also. Like
yeah. People are always like, oh, these like vegetarian chicken nuggets don't taste like chicken.
Why don't
I'm like, well, obviously because it's not chicken. But
why don't these Peruvian root chips taste exactly like Lay's? Well, it's a different thing. So it's gonna taste a little bit different, and don't expect any of those like healthy alternatives to taste like your favorite bad food, because the point is that they're not gonna taste like their bad food because they're not bad for you.
Yeah.
But I will say that's the one thing that keeps me from being like healthy is chips. I am a snacker at heart. Oh my gosh.
Potatoes are just really versatile.
They're so versatile. Like, no one is doing range like they are. But I love chips. I love snacking on bread and crackers, and popcorn is my favorite snack in the entire world.
Popcorn, especially just like lightly salted popcorn.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just
I hate it when it's too salty or too buttery. What I've started doing is instead of putting butter on my popcorn, I'm just using a little bit of like avocado oil or olive oil.
Yeah.
And then tossing them in a little bit of like sea salt or like cracked pink Himalayan salt or something like that.
Yeah, pink Himalayan salt is where it's at. You should cook with that
great
always.
texture.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, and it's naturally harvested, so like it's not that weird like iodine salt that they make in a lab. It's real salt. And plus, you've already got enough iodine in your modern day diet anyway. You don't need to eat salt with iodine in it anymore.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
But so like just taking a little bit, and the olive oil actually tastes way better on the popcorn than melted butter. I don't know why we didn't think of this before, but olive oil tastes great on bread, so it tastes really good on popcorn.
I've started eating rosemary oil on everything.
Oh
if you can find it, it's decadent. It's really great addition to like all your dishes.
I grew up in Marietta, and there's an olive oil store, and like there's like a balsamic olive oil store in every like pretentious little small town. But like this place was awesome, and I would always get a little bottle of garlic infused olive oil.
Stop.
And then that's what I would put on
garlic.
my popcorn. That's what I would put on my popcorn.
That sounds
just
so
a
good.
little bit of pink Himalayan salt, a little bit of garlic infused olive oil, and then just a little bit of black pepper.
Well, next time you're home, you have to bring me home.
My popcorn is
Garlic
straight up
infused
gourmet,
olive oil.
dudes. It's so good. Movie night ain't movie night unless I have made popcorn.
There is a gourmet popcorn company.
There is.
Or two or three.
I think there's several. I know that the Christmas tins are always
yeah,
a thing.
that's like a new thing popping up on the streets. Like
Gourmet
froyo was a thing
popcorn.
for like a long
I don't
time.
know how I feel about gourmet popcorn. I think you should just make it. I'm never gonna pay like $12 for popcorn. Is what I'm saying.
I will pay money for a lot of things. So, yeah, if you're advertising gourmet popcorn on the street, I'm buying it. But don't use that against me because
I won't. But so I think my prediction for the new trend is gonna be like a zero waste trend with food, where people are like trying to cut down.
I really hope that's a thing.
Or like a return to composting would be great. I think more people need to start composting. I know that's maybe not necessarily a food trend as much as it is a green trend, but I think that it ties into consciousness about what we eat.
I think that might be a trend in like other countries.
I think I think other countries just are better at composting.
Yeah.
I think America is just not as conscious with waste as we could be, but yet again we're doing a lot of things wrong. So,
yeah, and I hate to say, I think like the next trend will be something sugary or
probably
something like processed.
I used to be the biggest like nut for sugar and like candy, and
I had a big sweet tooth.
Oh, I had a gigantic sweet tooth. Not anymore.
Now I crave cauliflower?
I want
why?
savory things.
Yeah,
now.
I love salt. Which
salt.
probably means we have a deficiency, but
probably. I mean, listen, I'm a woman and a vegetarian. I'm probably low on iron.
Everything.
I know I'm low on iron. That's just a given fact. I don't live a lifestyle that can sustain itself with iron, but that's why I can take iron supplements and fix that.
Yep.
But yay.
There's always alternatives.
Yeah, but no, I can't eat decadent stuff anymore. Oh gosh, if someone offered me like chocolate mousse,
it's just so rich. It's so rich. Yeah.
I can take maybe like half a bite of that and then I'm down for the count. Plus, I prefer fruity stuff to chocolate any day of the week. Yeah. But I will say my favorite sweet flavor is like butterscotch.
Really?
Any sort of like caramel or like burnt sugar.
I like
dulce de
Werther's,
leche.
like the little things like grandma's have
Oh my
gosh,
Werther's Originals are literally my favorite candy in the entire world. They're so creamy.
They are amazing.
They're phenomenal. I don't know why. That's the greatest injustice that life has done to me is they've branded Werther's as an old people candy. So like people are
I brand myself as an old person, so
I get that, but like it means that the youngsters of today are missing out. They're not understanding that.
Good, I will gatekeep my Werther's.
No, I will share my Werther's with everybody. If you are out there, go buy Werther's Originals and re-experience the magic of childhood. It's so tasty.
On that note, comment your favorite candy and have a chance to win candy.
Comment your favorite candy and I'll tell you why your favorite candy is not a good candy.
Ooh, you're gonna have a little competition.
No, I'm not. I don't have enough time to comment on that.
Well, thank you for joining me for our food for thought talk. I hope you guys have a great day and eat some yummy food.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Hope you liked my opinions.
All right, that was great, y'all.
Thank you.
How long was it?